Hello, today we'll be going through practice questions 111 to 120 for the CompTIA Server Plus exam. Let's begin. A systems administrator is trying to determine why users in the Human Resources Department cannot access an application server. The administrator reviews the application logs but does not see any attempts by the users to access the application. Which of the following is preventing the users from accessing the application server? The correct answer is C. VLAN. If users in the Human Resources Department cannot access the application server and there are no logs of access attempts on the server, it's likely that network traffic is not reaching the server at all. A misconfigured VLAN could be isolating the HR users on a different network segment, preventing communication with the application server entirely. Why the other options are incorrect? A. NAT. NAT is used for translating IP addresses between networks. It typically does not block internal communication between VLANs or subnets unless misconfigured, and it wouldn't prevent logs from being generated. B. ICMP. ICMP is used for diagnostic tools like ping, not for application access. Blocking ICMP doesn't affect the ability to access applications. D. NIDS. A NIDS is passive and only monitors traffic. It does not block access. A NIPS might block traffic, but a NIDS would not prevent access. Therefore, the correct answer is C. VLAN. A security technician generated a public-private key pair on a server. The technician needs to copy the key pair to another server on a different subnet. Which of the following is the most secure method to copy the keys? The correct answer is C. SCP. Secure Copy Protocol is the most secure method among the options listed for transferring files, such as a public-private key pair over a network. It uses SSH encryption to protect the data in transit, ensuring confidentiality and integrity during transfer. Why the other options are incorrect? A. HTTP. HTTP transmits data in plain text, making it insecure for transferring sensitive files like private keys. B. FTP. Like HTTP, FTP does not encrypt data during transfer, so it's insecure for key files. D. USB. While physically secure in some contexts, transferring keys via USB introduces risks like loss, theft, or infection from malware. It's also not efficient for remote or cross-subnet transfers. Therefore, the correct answer is C. SCP. A server administrator purchased a single license key to use for all the new servers that will be imaged this year. Which of the following most likely refers to the licensing type that will be used? The correct answer is D. Volume. Volume licensing allows an organization to use a single license key to activate software on multiple systems, which is exactly what the server administrator is doing by using one key for all new servers. Is commonly used in enterprise environments for efficiency and cost savings. Why the other options are incorrect? A. Per socket. This licensing model changes based on the number of CPU sockets in a server, not for multiple installations across systems. B. Open source. Open source software typically doesn't require purchasing a license key at all, so this doesn't fit the scenario. C. Per concurrent user. This model limits the number of users who can access the software at the same time, and is not related to using a single key for imaging multiple servers. Therefore, the correct answer is D, volume. A technician is attempting to log into a Linux server as root but cannot remember the administrator password. Which of the following is the least destructive method of resetting the administrator password? The correct answer is C. Adjust the grub boot parameters to boot into single user mode. Run password from the command prompt. This is the least destructive and most common method to reset the root password on a Linux server. Booting into single user mode gives root access without requiring a password, allowing the technician to simply run password to set a new root password without modifying or replacing system files. Why the other options are incorrect? A. Edit the password file manually. While possible, manually editing the password file is risky and can lead to syntax errors or corruption of the file, making this more dangerous than using password. B. Reinstall the OS in overlay mode. This is more destructive, even if user files are preserved. It's overkill just to reset a password. D. SCP the etc directory from another server. Copying the entire etc directory can break configuration and system identity, causing system-wide issues. It's very destructive and not recommended. Therefore, the correct answer is C. A technician noted the RAID hard drives were functional while troubleshooting a motherboard failure. The technician installed a spare motherboard with similar specifications and used the original components. Which of the following should the technician do to restore operations with minimal downtime? The correct answer is C. Reconfigure the RAID. Since the RAID drives are functional and the technician replaced the motherboard, the RAID configuration from the original system may not be automatically recognized by the new motherboard. The technician should reconfigure the RAID settings in the BIOS Wi-Fi of the new motherboard to match the original setup. This allows the RAID array to be recognized without losing data, restoring operations with minimal downtime. Why the other options are incorrect? A. Reinstall the OS and programs. This is unnecessary if the RAID array and data are intact. Reinstalling would cause significant downtime and data loss. B. Configure old drives to RAID. This risks overwriting the existing RAID metadata, potentially destroying the data. It's not the right approach unless the configuration is restored non-destructively. D. Install from backup. This is a last resort in case the RAID array cannot be recovered. Since the drives are functional, restoring from backup is more time-consuming and unnecessary in this case. Therefore, the correct answer is C. Reconfigure the RAID. A server administrator is trying to determine the cause of a slowdown on a database server. Upon investigation, the administrator determines the issue is in the storage subsystem. Which of the following will most likely resolve this issue? The correct answer is A. Increasing IOPS by implementing flash storage. Flash storage offers much higher IOPS compared to traditional hard drives. Since the slowdown is traced to the storage subsystem, upgrading to flash storage is the most effective solution to improve performance, especially for a database server that performs frequent and intensive read-write operations. Why the other options are incorrect? B. Implementing deduplication on the storage. Deduplication helps save space, not improve performance. In fact, it may even increase I/O overhead, worsening performance in some cases. C. Extending capacity by installing a 4 TB SATA disk. Adding capacity doesn't necessarily improve performance. SATA disks also offer lower IOPS compared to flash storage. D. Reformatting the disk as FAT32. FAT32 is an outdated file system with limitations and is not suitable for modern servers, especially for databases. This would likely degrade performance further. Therefore, the correct answer is A. Increasing IOPS by implementing flash storage. A server administrator made a change in a server's BIOS in an attempt to fix an issue with the OS not turning on. However, the change did not successfully correct the issue. Which of the following should the server administrator do next? The correct answer is C. Reverse the latest change made to the server and reboot. Since the BIOS change did not resolve the issue, the safest and least disruptive next step is to undo the change and reboot the server. This helps determine whether the BIOS modification introduced a new problem or if the original issue persists independently. Why the other options are incorrect? A. Reinstall the server OS in repair mode. This is more invasive and should only be considered if reversing BIOS changes doesn't work. B. Flash the BIOS with the most recent version. Flashing the BIOS is a risky process and unnecessary at this stage. It should only be done if there is a known firmware bug and after simpler fixes are ruled out. D. Restart the server into safe mode and roll back changes. Safe mode is an OS level feature. If the OS isn't turning on at all, this option isn't applicable. Therefore, the correct answer is C. Reverse the latest change made to the server and reboot. Which of the following best describes a guarantee of the amount of time it will take to restore a downed service? The correct answer is A. RTO. Recovery time objective is the best description of the guaranteed amount of time it will take to restore a downed service. It defines the maximum acceptable downtime before a service must be restored to avoid significant impact on business operations. Why the other options are incorrect? B. SLA. An SLA is a contractual agreement outlining service expectations, which may include RTO and other metrics, but it is not specifically the guarantee about restoration time itself. C. MTBF. MTBF measures reliability by estimating the average time between failures, not the restoration time. D. MTTR. MTTR measures the average time it takes to repair a system after failure, but it is historical, not a guaranteed target like RTO. Therefore, the correct answer is A. RTO. An administrator is investigating several unexpected documents and video files that recently appeared in a network share. The administrator checks the properties of the file and sees the author's name on the documents is not a company employee. The administrator questions the other users, but no one knows anything about the files. The administrator then checks the log files and discovers the FTP protocol was used to copy the file to the server. Which of the following needs to be done to prevent this from happening again? The correct answer is D. Disable anonymous access. The presence of files from an unknown author uploaded via FTP suggests that anonymous access was enabled on the FTP server, allowing anyone to upload files without authentication. Disabling anonymous access will require users to authenticate before uploading, thereby preventing unauthorized uploads in the future. Why the other options are incorrect? A. Implement data loss protection. DLP focuses on preventing sensitive data from leaving the network, not stopping unauthorized data from being uploaded. B. Configure intrusion detection. An IDS can help detect suspicious activity, but it's reactive, not preventive. It wouldn't stop anonymous uploads unless integrated with a prevention mechanism. C. Turn on user account control. UAC is a local system setting used to prevent unauthorized changes on Windows machines, and it doesn't apply to network file uploads via FTP. Therefore, the correct answer is D. Disable anonymous access. A junior administrator needs to configure a single RAID 5 volume out of 4 200 GB drives attached to the server using the maximum possible capacity. Upon completion, the server reports that all drives were used, and the approximate volume size is 400 GB. Which of the following best describes the result of this configuration? The correct answer is D. RAID 10 was configured by mistake. In RAID 10, data is mirrored and then striped, which means you get 50% of the total raw capacity. With 4 200 GB drives, RAID 10 would give you about 400 GB usable space, which matches the reported volume size. This suggests the junior administrator accidentally configured RAID 10 instead of RAID 5. Why the other options are incorrect? A. RAID 0 was configured by mistake. RAID 0 uses 100% of the available space with no redundancy. 4 200 GB drives in RAID 0 would give 800 GB, not 400 GB. B. RAID 5 was configured properly. RAID 5 uses 1 drive's worth of space for parity. 4 200 GB drives in RAID 5 would give 600 GB usable, not 400 GB. C. JBOD was configured by mistake. JBOD simply aggregates the drives without redundancy. 4 200 GB drives in JBOD would show 800 GB, not 400 GB. Therefore, the correct answer is D. RAID 10 was configured by mistake. We have come to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.